Chris is he's an idea man.
He was able to get into their head, really find out what they're looking for.
Chris Moore, I think, has one of the most creative minds in the market, in the region. What Chris will do is he'll take an idea and then take it a couple of notches up and then sit back and think some more, take it a few notches up beyond that. But Chris is very good at setting an ideal, setting a vision, and then sticking to that. Going outside the box, down the street, and around the corner. Buckeye Cable, I think, is like a lot of local production entities in that you have clients who want things fast, they want them good, they want them free. Typically, we'll be in and out on a shoot in 2 hours. An edit, we'll have it, do the offline prep, and then 2 hours we're done with an edit. Those restrictions actually help or force us to go deeper into the creativity aspect.
Unconventional is what it takes sometimes to cut through just the noise that's on television. Most of our clients have pretty small budgets, and to try to make something big out of something small is a hard task.
Being a supermom, my job never ends. It's a lot of work to take care of a busy household. And
Chris has done a phenomenal job of casting the right people, finding the right location. He's really good at dissecting what it takes visually to put something together for the different kinds of angles and the different kinds of lighting and so on.
I've never seen somebody quite as able as him to just take nothing and create something that worked for the advertiser.
So many commercials on TV, and people have a tendency to ignore things. And I can tell you that with Chris's ideas, there was no way that they were going to ignore our commercials.
Classic case is Car Stereo 1. It has become a local icon, and a lot of that is due specifically to Chris's work. He developed this whole thing with a turtle.
Turtle. Idiot.
We put it in a commercial, and we just kept putting it in every commercial, like at the end of the commercial, and people were, did he just say turtle? What does that have to do with the Car Stereo business? And of course it didn't really have anything to do with anything, but people talked about it.
Rain turtle.
The turtle actually gained more popularity than I did for a while, and I didn't like that.
Chris seems to be able to pull, a lot of different talent and props. One time I remember a commercial which we did in this warehouse, and there was an angel flying in, and light effects, and a cast. It seemed like a cast of thousands.
Chris, whenever he did a commercial, it was top notch.
I've only had praises from clients with Chris.
It really looks like a high budget commercial at a very low budget expense. Chris takes his time and really does it in a professional manner and makes sure that when the end result is done, it's done to perfection.
Depending on what the situation called for, he could be very, very funny. He could come up with some things that were just so out of here. We just didn't know where they were coming from. But then if the situation called for something a little more orthodox, a little more traditional of a production approach, he was extremely sensitive to the needs of the individual situation, of the client.
He can adjust to fit different people without really compromising his vision.
Some of them are rather enduring spots.
We've actually drove a lot of companies out of business since we started advertising on cable.
Some of these ideas that Chris has had would have made the funniest Super Bowl commercials in the world if we would have had the budget to make it happen.
Chris is just fun. He's crazy, a little left of center.
I can tell you that people remembered that.